Hi everyone. By now you've probably already heard about the LA fire. What I want to show you is some things I found this morning that you may not have heard of. First, I want to remind you that for some time, Los Angeles has been part of the C40 Cities Initiative. This is the smart city plan for the entire world. This video from this morning reminded me so much of Lahaina that I decided to do a lot of deep digging. So I wasn't at all surprised when I found this.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory be unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Wakar Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. And peace, salutations, and blessings be unto the hopeful elect, pushing his truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe, in the sincere hopes of being delivered in these last days. All right, this is the brother Yakanan from the GMS England branch. And, as you just seen in that brief clip, this woman was going into some very interesting information concerning, the LA fires that are currently happening right now. And as you've seen, in the brief excerpt, there was a lot of interesting so-called coincidences concerning, these fires and the timing of particular things being, revoked, so on and so forth. Now, for example, it came out that around 7 months ago, you had insurance companies canceling the fire insurance part of the policy. All right, conveniently 7 months ago. So naturally, that lets us know that something has been engineered in order for a particular result to be accomplished. All right, and it made me think of I believe it was at the end of 2023 when you had the fires in Maui, all right, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And this is an update article, from the 8th, going into the current state of those that were affected back then, concerning those mysterious fires that happened at that time, all right, which at the time, we done videos on it, and you had all kind of information coming out how, that was more than likely, engineered, all right. So the wicked elites of Esau Edom, they are engineering these events upon the earth in order to push a particular agenda, all right? And I believe at the time, if I remember correctly, they had some 15-minute pilots that they wanted to test out in the Maui area. Okay? And as that woman was going into, in the beginning of the video, you also have the I got an article here that she went into. You also have the C40 cities, okay? And lo and behold, LA happens to be a member of the C40 cities since 2006. All right, and you can look that up, just like I've looked it up here, on Google. And that goes into, carbon credits, that goes into, 2030, and, meeting particular requirements in order to cut down, on the whole carbon use, so on and so forth. So Esau will go to great lengths in order to accomplish, this new world order system. He will go to great lengths in order to accomplish this new world order system, man. All right. And as you've seen, he will sacrifice people. He will sacrifice, land that you thought you owned, houses that you thought you owned, in order to get his agenda, into fruition. And that's why, he is the devil that the Bible speaks of, okay? And even when we go back to Genesis, it tells us that, the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, very shrewd. So when we're dealing with Esau, Edom, all right, you're dealing with a maniac that is willing, to go to great lengths, like I said, even taking people out, so on and so forth, in order to accomplish, this new world order system. But, remember, he's being controlled by Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, because as the scriptures tell us, the wicked is the sword of Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. All right. So ultimately, all of these things that are happening, all of these things that are transpiring, really, it's the left-hand side of the Lord that is actioning these things upon the earth. All right. As the scriptures tell us, shall there be evil in a city and the Lord have not done it? All right. It's the Lord ultimately that's behind all of these tragic things that are playing out upon the earth. And really, these are necessary evils that must play out before this kingdom, can be totally decimated and destroyed, through the Spirit. And when I was looking at these pictures, I know the brother, GMS Watchman, Yashalam had done a video on it. And I thought the same thing that he thought, and that I'm sure many other brothers thought, seeing some of these images. It was like, a snippet, a subtle preview of Babylon the Great, being totally annihilated, all right? That lake of fire, all right, which is America, Babylon the Great, all right, spoken of in the book of Revelation. That's what it reminded me of when I was looking at some of these videos and, seeing some of the images that were being released. Total destruction, whole buildings just, pretty much, formless, okay? And if this is this bad, you really got to think about what Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is going to do via, World War III and these ICBM missiles, these intercontinental ballistic missiles. You really got to meditate and think how bad the end is really going to be. All right? Because if this looks, as terrible as this, man, you don't want to get caught up in that second death. All right? Now, here's another one of the articles that she was going into. Los Angeles City Council moves forward with Livable Communities Initiative. The 15-minute community could be coming to a neighborhood near you. All right? So this is the 8th of December, 2022. All right? They were talking about 15-minute cities in connection with LA. And like I, showed you in this article in Maui, or like how I mentioned, how at the time they were talking about concerning Maui, how they wanted to, run some 15-minute trials there, and then suddenly, that fire happened. Well, the same thing has happened with LA now. All right, they've been talking about these 15-minute cities, and all of a sudden you have huge acres, just up in flames. All right, so that looks like a destroy and rebuild mission that the wicked elites of Esau Edom are accomplishing right now, man. All right, now let me get right quick before I read this. Let's get the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. And it reads, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." All right, and in the NLT it says, "So that Satan will not outsmart us, for we are familiar with his evil schemes." Okay, so we are familiar with the evil schemes of Esau Edom. All right, we don't put it past him that he is, bold enough and left enough, to perform, some of the things that are being, speculated, okay? Which more than likely, a lot of the stuff that's floating out there, is true, because it does make sense. But ultimately, to cut all of that, this is the work of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, all right? And that's the beauty of knowing that the Lord controls both sides. Because anything that's, cloudy, because we don't know the intricacies of every single thing that happens concerning the wickedness that plays out in Esau's kingdom. But we do know for sure is that whatever does happen, the Lord is behind it, all right? And there's great power in knowing that information, all right? So again, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So we're not ignorant of the devices, we're not ignorant of the evil schemes of Esau Edom and what he's willing to do to accomplish this new world order system. Now it says, in the automobile dominated United States, the concept of the walkable 15-minute city may seem like an inherently foreign concept, but it could be coming soon to a Los Angeles neighborhood near you. At its meeting yesterday, the Los Angeles City Council voted unanimously to adopt a motion to help implement the Livable Communities Initiative, a proposal which was outlined in Program 131 in LA's recently certified housing element. The concept, detailed in a late November news release, aims to solve LA's housing, traffic, safety, and climate woes by enabling the development of new mixed-use buildings on key commercial corridors, placing new housing near job centers and transit lines. All right. So again, this goes into, as we have it here, this goes into the whole C40 cities, again, which they're a member of. Okay. Which you have many different members, of this C40 organization. And they're actively, by the year 2030, trying to bring in, all of these very harsh and soon, to be found out draconian, laws and policies. Okay? And they're trying to, make sure all vehicles are electric, by 2030, or even before 2030. They're trying to X out, and phase out, all of the old technology, moving into the fourth industrial, revolution, man. All right. So we're in a very, very beautiful time upon the earth right now. Very, very beautiful time. It's very active and there's a lot going on. Okay. So, that's all I really wanted to get in this video. I just wanted to, briefly bring that out, because I thought the information was very interesting. And I thought, you brothers out there and few sisters listening and learning, should know about it. So with that, Lord willing, this lesson has been edifying. And until next time, I'll say shalom.